Hey Bougie click. Welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving into a topic that's both fascinating and complex: power, status, and envy, what it's really like being pretty privileged. In a world where beauty is often seen as an asset, those who possess it can find themselves at the center of admiration, and yes, envy. But it's not just about the admiration they receive, it's also about how society reacts to their presence. From passive-aggressive comments to outright hostility, the experiences of pretty privileged women can be a roller coaster of emotions. We'll unpack the dynamics of envy, the scrutiny of opinions, and the toxic comparisons that come into play. So, stick around and don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more insightful discussions.
I'ma make you a fan.
Power, status, and envy, what it's really like being pretty privileged. In the theater of life, there exists a character whose presence commands attention, admiration, and, often, envy: the pretty privileged girl. In a world where beauty often equates to power, the pretty privileged woman finds herself at the center of attention, admiration, and, inevitably, envy. This envy manifests in various ways, from passive-aggressive comments to outright hostility. Her appearance and lifestyle are scrutinized, dissected, and emulated, yet they also become the target of an underlying resentment. While her opinions and choices hold weight, they also attract a peculiar brand of criticism from the envious. These individuals take offense at her every word and action, making it their personal mission to find fault in her existence. The weight of opinions. Pretty privileged women are often placed on a pedestal, not just for their looks, but for the perceived influence they wield. Society tends to celebrate their beauty and charm, attributing to them an almost mythical status that can elevate their voices in social and cultural conversations. The pretty privileged woman's opinion and lifestyle hold more weight in society, often granting her a platform that others may not have because people want to be her. If she does something, people want to do it too. They desire to eat what she eats, wear what she wears, and go where she goes. If she expresses dislike for something, it can trigger a wave of disapproval from those around her, as her opinion is valued more highly than that of the average woman. This dynamic creates a stark contrast between the experiences of pretty privileged women and those of others. The average woman often finds that her thoughts, actions, and opinions go unnoticed or unappreciated, leading to feelings of jealousy and frustration. Many may feel sidelined when they witness the attention and adoration bestowed upon the pretty girl. This envy can manifest in various ways, including unsolicited opinions or backhanded comments aimed at undermining her status. When the pretty girl is asked a question, envious women may feel compelled to interject their views, hoping to capture some of the admiration and attention that she naturally garners. This heightened visibility means that people are not just observing her, they are obsessively scrutinizing everything she says or does. This obsession is fueled by a complex mix of admiration and envy. On one hand, there are those who genuinely appreciate her insights and contributions, celebrating her success and what she represents in a society that often equates beauty with worthiness. On the other hand, there are individuals who feel threatened by her influence and the societal validation she embodies. This duality creates a complicated web of interactions where admiration can quickly turn to resentment, and where the pretty privileged woman's life becomes a constant balancing act of expectation and pressure. A target for criticism. Envious individuals have an uncanny knack for finding fault in everything the pretty privileged do. It doesn't matter if it's the way they dress, the way they speak, or even the food they choose to eat, each choice becomes a point of contention. The envious are never short on criticism, often resorting to shady remarks designed to undermine confidence and sow doubt. They criticize her for being too flashy, too confident, or too outspoken. This behavior is rooted in a desire to diminish the shine of those they cannot outshine themselves. This constant scrutiny serves a dual purpose: it distracts the envious from their own insecurities while simultaneously attempting to erode the self-esteem of those they target. The envious may believe that by pointing out perceived flaws, they can elevate their own status, even if just in their minds. For them, every compliment given to someone else feels like a personal affront, and every acknowledgement of beauty or talent from others becomes fuel for their discontent. Moreover, this cycle of envy can be damaging not only to the individuals being criticized but also to the envious themselves. Their relentless focus on others often leads to a life filled with bitterness and resentment, preventing them from recognizing and cultivating their own unique strengths and qualities. Instead of fostering personal growth, they remain trapped in a shadowy existence where the only light comes from criticizing others. Ultimately, this behavior highlights a deeper societal issue, one that encourages comparison over collaboration and diminishes the joy of celebrating others' successes. Words and actions viewed as personal attacks. No matter what the pretty privileged woman says or who she says it about, envious people take it personally. They interpret her words as direct attacks, even when they are not. This hypersensitivity is a reflection of their insecurities and jealousy. For instance, if the pretty girl mentions how she loves wearing heels, a woman who prefers flats might feel offended, interpreting the comment as a judgment on her choice of footwear. Similarly, if the pretty girl talks about her daily makeup routine, someone who chooses not to wear makeup may feel slighted, especially if they notice how often others compliment her. They might respond with remarks like, "I don't need to wear makeup" or "I don't like makeup," framing their feelings as a rejection of her choices rather than acknowledging their own insecurities. They will twist her words, taking them out of context to paint her in a negative light. The phenomenon of envious individuals interpreting the words of a pretty privileged woman as personal attacks reveals deep-seated insecurities within themselves. These insecurities are often rooted in feelings of inadequacy or a belief that they have not received the same advantages or recognition. As a result, they are quick to perceive any comment or opinion from her as a slight against their own worth or accomplishments. This hypersensitivity and tendency to twist her words and take them out of context not only distorts their understanding of her intentions but also amplifies their jealousy. Instead of seeing her comments as neutral observations or benign expressions, they infuse them with personal meaning. This can lead to a cycle of negativity where they feel justified in criticizing her, often resorting to gossip or social media to voice their grievances. By misconstruing her words, they reinforce their own narratives of victimhood and injustice, further isolating themselves from the reality of the situation. Moreover, this behavior can create a toxic environment where open dialogue becomes stifled. The pretty privileged woman may feel the need to censor herself, fearing backlash or misinterpretation, which only deepens the divide between her and those who feel threatened by her presence. In the end, this dynamic serves as a mirror reflecting the unresolved issues of envy and self-worth, highlighting the complexities of social interactions where privilege and perception collide. Shady remarks and insults. Envious individuals are notorious for making shady, sly remarks out of nowhere. These comments are designed to undermine the pretty privileged woman's confidence and make her doubt herself. They will try to humiliate or insult her in front of others, hoping to tarnish her image and bring her down to their level. Envious individuals believe that by bringing someone else down, they can elevate their own self-worth. Their shady remarks are not just random jabs, they are calculated attempts to exploit insecurities and plant seeds of doubt. These comments can take many forms, from subtle backhanded compliments to outright insults disguised as playful banter. For instance, an envious person might say something like, "It must be nice to get everything handed to you just because of how you look," suggesting that the pretty privileged woman hasn't earned her success or happiness. This not only attempts to undermine her confidence but also attempts to shift the narrative, framing her beauty as a disadvantage rather than an asset. The goal is to humiliate or insult her in front of others, creating a social dynamic where she feels isolated and questioned. This tactic can be especially damaging in group settings, where the envious individual hopes to sway the opinions of peers, turning them against the target and tarnishing her image. Ultimately, these envious remarks are a reflection of the speaker's own self-doubt and insecurities, revealing their inability to appreciate their own worth without resorting to negativity towards others. The never-ending comparison game. One of the most insidious tactics employed by the envious is the constant comparison to others. By attempting to show that other women are better, they aim to chip away at the self-esteem of the pretty privileged. This strategy often manifests through subtle remarks or overt criticisms, each designed to plant seeds of doubt. These comparisons are not merely casual observations, they are calculated moves meant to diminish a woman's worth and make her feel inadequate. The envious individuals will highlight the achievements and qualities of other women, be it in terms of beauty, intelligence, or success, using these points to overshadow the unique attributes of the woman they target. This relentless comparison can create a toxic atmosphere where the victim feels as though she is constantly under scrutiny, struggling to measure up to an impossible standard. The intention behind this behavior is to make the woman feel less special, to undermine her confidence, and to create a sense of competition that serves only the insecure. However, this comparison game is not only exhausting but also entirely futile. It reveals more about the insecurities of the envious than it does about the person they aim to diminish. In reality, each woman possesses her own distinct set of qualities and strengths that cannot and should not be compared in such a reductive manner. This practice often backfires, as it fosters a culture of negativity and resentment rather than empowerment. Ultimately, it serves as a reminder that true confidence and self-worth stem from within, and that external validation is fleeting and unreliable. Recognizing the futility of these comparisons can be liberating, allowing individuals to celebrate their own uniqueness while also appreciating the diversity and strengths of others without succumbing to envy. Disagreement for the sake of disagreement. Envious people often find themselves in a position where they feel overshadowed by the success or beauty of others, particularly when it comes to someone perceived as pretty privileged. This dynamic can lead to a contrarian attitude, where they oppose or dismiss opinions and ideas simply because they originate from this individual. Even if they previously expressed similar sentiments, their jealousy transforms those ideas into points of contention. This behavior serves multiple purposes for envious individuals. Firstly, it allows them to assert their own importance by positioning themselves as critics or contrarians, giving them a false sense of power in a social hierarchy. By challenging the authority of the pretty privileged woman, they attempt to elevate their own status and demonstrate that they possess a valid perspective, even if it is rooted in negativity. Moreover, their refusal to acknowledge her contributions can manifest in more insidious ways, such as appropriating her ideas and presenting them as their own. This theft of intellectual property is not just about the ideas themselves, it's a refusal to give credit where it is due, further highlighting their resentment. Instead of celebrating or supporting the success of others, they would rather diminish it, reflecting deeper insecurities and a fear of being unrecognized. In this toxic cycle, the envious individuals remain trapped in their own bitterness, while the pretty privileged woman, despite facing unfair criticism, continues to navigate her path. This situation underscores a broader societal issue where envy can cloud judgment and hinder collaboration, ultimately creating a toxic environment that stifles creativity and mutual respect. Sabotaging relationships. In their quest to tarnish the reputation of the pretty privileged, envious individuals often engage in tactics designed to create rifts between them and others. This envy can stem from a variety of sources, including a perceived lack of beauty or social status, which drives these individuals to undermine those they see as more fortunate. Envious people will try to cause problems between the pretty privileged woman and others, employing a range of manipulative strategies to achieve their goals. They spread lies, rumors, and gossip, which can be especially damaging in tight-knit communities where information spreads quickly. By creating misunderstandings, they aim to turn friends and acquaintances against her, effectively eroding her support network. The envious often exploit insecurities and vulnerabilities, twisting the narrative to paint the pretty privileged woman in a negative light. Their tactics can be subtle yet insidious, such as making offhand comments that cast doubt on her character or intentions, leading others to question her sincerity and authenticity. Their ultimate goal is to isolate her, making her feel unsupported and alone. This isolation not only weakens her social standing but also makes her more vulnerable to further attacks. By causing friction in her relationships, they hope to create a snowball effect that diminishes her influence and popularity. The envious individuals believe that by shifting the balance of attention and admiration away from their target, they can elevate their own status and gain recognition in the eyes of others. This behavior is a testament to their deep-seated need to be the center of attention, even if it means sabotaging relationships and friendships. The envious may convince themselves that their actions are justified, seeing them as a means to an end. However, this destructive cycle ultimately reveals their insecurities and dissatisfaction with their own lives, highlighting the lengths to which some will go to elevate themselves at the expense of others. In this way, the dynamics of envy and privilege create a toxic environment where trust is easily shattered, and genuine connections can be profoundly affected. Conclusion. In conclusion, while envy may be an inevitable part of the pretty privileged experience, it is not an insurmountable obstacle. If you have pretty privilege, embrace it and show it off. Don't let the haters bring you down or make you feel less than you are. Their opinions are irrelevant, and by confidently celebrating your unique qualities, you send a powerful message that you won't be broken by negativity. Embracing your beauty and confidence can inspire others to do the same, creating a positive ripple effect. Remember, it's not about dimming your light to fit in, it's about shining brightly and living authentically. This self-awareness allows you to rise above negativity and criticism, effectively putting haters in their place beneath you. Beautiful women are often placed on a pedestal like celebrities and royalty. It's essential to remember that this elevated status can sometimes invite jealousy and disdain from those who feel left out or inferior. However, it's crucial to maintain your balance and confidence without letting the opinions of peasants knock you off your throne. When you recognize your worth and refuse to be swayed by detractors, you reinforce the idea that self-love and self-respect are paramount. By standing firm in your position and celebrating your uniqueness, you not only affirm your place at the top but also encourage others to strive for their own thrones, creating a ripple effect of empowerment. Ultimately, it's about owning who you are while encouraging a culture that appreciates diversity and individuality, ensuring that no one feels like a mere spectator in the grand narrative of life. Thank you for joining me in this exploration of the complex dynamics of power, status, and envy that come with being pretty privileged. If you found value in today's discussion, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and share your thoughts in the comments below. How do you perceive the relationship between beauty and privilege? Let's keep the conversation going. And, of course, if you enjoyed this content, make sure to subscribe for more insights and discussions on topics that matter. Hit that notification bell so you never miss an update. Remember, your uniqueness is your power, and embracing it is the first step towards inspiring others. Until next time, keep shining bright and celebrating who you truly are. What do you think? Do pretty privileged women have power and status that is envied? Let me know in the comments section. Stay bougie. Follow and support me. All links in bio. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Check description for more info. New episodes every day.